Update: AITA for setting boundaries with my stepson. Original post. A little bit more than a year ago, I asked for advice on how to deal with my stepson. I was ripped to shreds in the comments. And deservedly so. For those who haven't read the post, I didn't feel like my stepson was respecting my authority after I imposed overly strict rules upon him. I've had a few people ask for an update. But first, I wanted to clear up one thing. Many people assumed that I took an underprivileged kid and put him in a school full of rich kids. That couldn't be further from the truth. Before we married, he and his mother were very well off. We both have really well-paying jobs. The only reason he was in a public school was because the schools in our area are really great. The only reason he was switched to the private school is because it is a STEM school, and I thought that would be beneficial to him. Now on to the update. After reading the comments telling me how horrible of a stepfather I was, I felt sick. This may seem unbelievable, but I was genuinely trying to do right by him, and I was beside myself, realizing that I did more harm than good. My stepson never knew his father, and I jumped at the chance to have that special father-son bond with him. I eased up on many of the restrictions I placed. He no longer has to surrender his phone, and while we still do have family time, it's about once a week instead of every night. He no longer has a bedtime, and while his mom follows him on his socials, I do not. I no longer demand this passwords to anything. The only time I have asked him to babysit is in the case of an emergency, but surprisingly, now that I've stopped, he's been offering to babysit every once in a while. As for the school issue, he is still at the school we switched him to. We had many long talks about this very issue, and he ultimately decided to finish out his high school career at the school because, while he missed his friends, he was able to recognize that this new school offered him the best opportunity to get into the college he really wants to attend. Since all of this, the relationship between my stepson and myself has drastically improved. For his 17th birthday, we offered to get him a car, and he and I had a really nice time picking out the right one. I've taken him to a few basketball games which he loves, and I've enjoyed learning about the sport from him. He actually got a girlfriend and came to me for advice about dating, which is not something that would have happened before. I will say this: I am blessed with an incredibly smart, kind and compassionate stepson. Other kids may not have been so forgiving, and rightfully so. I urge other stepparents out there to really listen to their stepchildren instead of automatically trying to take over. You may not be as lucky as I was. This is a great update. Congrats for the 180. It's not how you start, it's how you finish. It's great to hear you're all working together on the same team now. Life gets a little easier and happier when the team starts winning. Thank you for sharing this update. How refreshing that someone took advice rather than be defensive and ignore the chance for change. Sounds like you've grown and your stepson has benefited massively. Well done. So glad you were wise enough and courageous enough to be able to take the feedback and save this relationship. What? AITA did good? And turned over a new leaf? Will wonders never cease? Sorry for the snark op. Congratulations on all the progress. That's really nice to hear. A good outcome. Good on your stepson for being big enough to forgive. And good on you for making the changes. Well done, sir. You are a wonderful person. It is never easy to accept harsh advice. Internet comments can be extremely brutal. He is lucky to have you as a father. It is understandable that you struggled before. Your daughters were too young for you to have the experience of dealing with a struggling teenager. I love a good update like this. I remember your op and am happy to hear things have turned around for the better. Good on you for taking the time to reflect and grow. If more people would do that, maybe the world would be a better place. This means so much to me. I'm the other side of this. My husband never turned that leaf. He is now my ex-husband, but we were together for 20 years. It has had a huge negative effect on my son. Now I co-parent with him and he still does the same thing and trigger the kids without being in the house. Well done. Op. It might be worth taking this lesson and making it explicit for all your kids, stepkids you donked up, but it came from a place of caring. You sincerely apologized and changed your behavior. That bit's important. And it massively helped. A mistake isn't the end of the world. Changing and apologizing and owning your mistakes helps. Being a step-parent of a teen is very hard. I realize I took too much personal when SK was just being a normal teenager. Turning the relationship around took a lot of self-realization and change on your part. Your family is lucky to have a guy who was willing to learn and adjust. Always love step-parent success stories. Thank you for sharing. I applaud you for recognizing your wrongs and working on it in a healthy way. I'm glad you did so. Well done, op. Not all people can take criticism and actually grow. It's a great start for a new kind of relationship. Wish you and your family the best. That's wonderful news and I hope the good relationship continues. What a super lovely and heartwarming update. You, sir, are an awesome human being. Taking on board what can be absolutely brutal internet criticism. Reflecting and being brave and humble enough to apologize and change is amazing. You say you are lucky to have him? Well, he is very lucky to have you too. Growth? Learning from your mistakes? Am I really on AITA? That is an amazing update. I think you two are going to have a great father-son relationship. That is awesome. Good for you for realizing before it was too late that things needed to change and compromises had to happen. This was a joy to read. Smiling face. Well done for taking on board the feedback you got and implementing real, meaningful change. You are reaping the benefits of being a teachable person, and as an added bonus you've now shown your stepson that he too is capable of big change should he feel he needs to in the future. You have been a great role model in that, so honestly you should be proud. Clapping hands. Light skin tone. Clapping hands. Light skin tone. Clapping hands. Light skin tone. Look at Reddit out here. Changing lives. Cold sweat. Smile. Raising hands. Light skin tone. Folded hands. Light skin tone. The only time I have asked him to babysit is in the case of an emergency, but surprisingly, now that I've stopped, he's been offering to babysit every once in a while. Sorry to tell you this, but you are the only one here surprised by that. You are very lucky that your stepson was a well-adjusted kid and willing to work with you once you proved capable of being a reasonable parent figure. I'm glad you were able to take the criticism on board and take steps to fix things. Sounds like it's working out for you all. Sometimes people mistakenly take authority for parenting. You learned it the hard way through that sub. Those people can be savage, but they are good people with experience and a heart well placed. But it was worth it.
If you enjoyed this video, please check out our playlists full of similar content. AmITheAsshole is like doom scrolling for your ears. Please like, share, and subscribe.